Elektra Records pick you up,
Yes.
and send you up to Bearsville, to cut 88 Elmira Street. Ian Kimmett helped out a lot on that record. I believe he was a big fan, right?
Ian Kimmett and I are very close.
Right.
Sally Grossman and George Cowan, all those people up there are just wonderful people.
Aren't they?
It was a great experience.
And you cut
It
the
was
whole
grueling. I'll tell you that, trying to do the whole thing in one shot.
Right.
It is very tiresome.
How long did it take?
It seems like it took years, but it was probably more like off and on for 2 months. Except we did the basic tracks for that thing in like 8 days, I think, which there were a lot more tracks than the ones we used.
It was an all-instrumental record, as most of yours are.
Redneck Jazz isn't all instrumental.
That's right.
It's got a lot of vocals on it. Irvin Johns wrote. Which is why this new record should appeal to people that like Redneck Jazz, because they like that country swing sort of thing.
Well, tell me about your concept for 88 Elmira Street, because to me it showcases many different sides, or all or many of the various influences we've briefly touched on so far. You can't really bag it in any particular category, but nevertheless it seems to flow and sit well together, and there's a lot of various things going on there. Was that exactly how you wanted to see it? I mean, was it a record that you felt, this is the one I want to make right now? Were you pushed into a corner by the record company to make a kind of record, or?
I wanted to have vocals on that record because it seemed to me over the years, if you don't have vocals on something, you haven't got a snowball's chance in hell of doing anything unless you play guitar in a contemporary style, which I don't. And I don't really feel like being a jazz musician. I just want to play in a band and have some fun like I used to years ago and not have all this pressure.
Right.
But that record at the time said exactly what I had to say. I mean, the only thing I think was lacking there is some real straight-ahead jazz, which at the time we thought, might be going out too far. I guess there comes a time when you have to focus on something.
What tracks on that record particularly are you proud of, or that you felt succeeded in a way beyond your hopefully wildest dreams?
Well, I like In My Room a lot.
That was nice.
That was
How did that
very
come about?
difficult to record. I was going to do a rendition of I Only Have Eyes for You by the Flamingos, because I'd never really heard anybody do an instrumental version of that. And then you suggested Surfer Girl, and Billy Windsor suggested In My Room, and I said, aha, I can incorporate that Only Have Eyes for You groove underneath and kind of play a whiny telly on the top of the thing, try to get that nice ambient feel. It's a kind of song that just lay there and it just puts you away, and I think it succeeded in that. We have genuine rain in the end and that sort of thing. I mean, I listened to that tune 1,000,000 times while we were cutting it and never got tired of it.
Right. Now that
was
one
one of
worked,
my favorite ones.
that one worked very nicely.
The Simpsons was kind of bizarre.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Well, no, actually that was...
I thought I'd challenge you on that.
Well, you did, and I'm not sure who won. The anal utterance at the end, which isn't really what it appears to be. I got an irate fan letter from a guy about that.
Really?
So I'm going to have to take this off of this record. I can't play this for my kids. And I thought, what? 2 live crew out there, just a little, you can't play that, and it's not even a real, it's a little thing you squeeze. Come on, lighten up. But, I like humor.
Obviously.
I mean, I play bad on purpose sometimes because it's fun. You'll hear some of that on this new record. If you can't take a joke, tough.
Quiet Village.
I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
That one was recorded right here at Big Mo, just mixed up there. And that was pretty much a one-take thing as far as the guitar solo. That one wasn't pieced together. Nor was Harlem Nocturne.
Who did Quiet Village? Martin Denny?
Yes.
That was one of his. Right. Tell me a bit about Elmira Street Boogie.
Elmira Street Boogie is pretty much a collection of rockabilly licks,
Mm-hmm.
just basic influence. The influences that I had at that time, I just put together in a tune. Scotty Moore and James Burton and little Les Paul. It's kind of like a jam session with all three of those guys
Mm-hmm.
playing.
That's a fun song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That album featured the band that is now still with you. It seems that
Hopefully for years to come.
You've finally got a crew of folks that. I mean, so I know John Previty's played with you for a long time
Yes.
now.
Geez.
But John plays bass, and
Yeah.
Bill Holloman, I think, must have been a new member around that time.
Yes, he was. Shannon Ford had worked with me. He was in the original Redneck Jazz Explosion in '78.
Shannon plays drums.
Yes, Shannon's a killer drummer.
And Bill is the horn section.
And keyboards.
Right. Yeah.
And he sings real good too.
Mhm.
He's singing 13 Women, the old Bill Haley tune on this record.
Right. Okay,
So they're
so
all world-class players. I've never played with people any better than them. None of them have attitudes, so they
Right.
don't mind doing diverse things, and they love for me to throw curveballs at them and just roll with it and see what happens.
right.